Hi Half Blondies, welcome or welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing my true crime favorites of May. So let's get right into the video. So if you didn't know, I'm actually obsessed with true crime, and I think of myself as like an amateur wannabe detective. So I literally consume true crime like it's my job, and I watch a lot of documentaries, TV series, I listen to a lot of podcasts, so I thought I'd share some of my recent ones. So I'm going to start off with podcasts because I only have three. One of the podcasts I listened to this month was called Silent Waves, which I loved. It was like 6-part series, or 6 or 8-part series, and it was about this girl who had been sexually abused by her own cousin, and the story kind of unravels, and it's really, really interesting. It is sort of graphic. I mean, everything about, podcasts or documentaries are pretty graphic because they can't really leave out, many details. So I thought it was really brave of her to share her story, and it's just like, it's very relatable if you've been through a sexual trauma, which most women have. So, yeah, and most people don't talk about that. So I really, really loved listening to her podcast, and it's really, really vulnerable. So the next podcast I listened to was called Stolen, The Search for Jermaine. It's about this indigenous woman who goes missing in Montana, and this journalist, what's her name? Connie, goes to Montana to retrace what might have happened to her and tries to follow other leads. Power, the Maxwells. It's a story about Ghislaine Maxwell, which is Jeffrey Epstein's partner in crime, and this person, what's her name? I don't know. Digs into her life and kind of goes into her history, especially like her relationship with her father, who was a media tycoon, Robert Maxwell, and kind of see how she came about. Like, she's pretty much an heiress, and how she, money is power. So kind of how she got away with everything that she did, her and Jeffrey did. It's just like really interesting, and like you can see where her manipulation started, which is from her dad, of course, but you'll have to listen to the podcast to find out more about it. This one's pretty long, actually. It's about 9 episodes. Well, some of them like each 30 minutes or so. Not too bad. The last podcast I listened to was in our, wait, hold on, what is it called? It's called Your Own Backyard, which is about the disappearance of Kristen Smart from 1996. And what's pretty interesting is after the last episode aired, they actually caught the real guy who is responsible for her disappearance, which was, not to give it away, but their main suspect all along. Like, when you listen to the podcast, you can really, you'll be like, what the hell? It was pretty obvious that it was him, They just didn't have any physical evidence to convict him. So after this, I wonder if they're gonna have an episode recapping how they actually caught him and what was the last straw for him to get arrested, because he's had multiple search warrants for his house and all that kind of stuff. So that was really, really good. They did a good job with that one. A couple more podcasts that I listened to that were not case by case. So some of these podcasts talk about a different case in each episode. So one that I liked was called
Gator, as a matter of fact. Yeah, expecting to come.
Okay, one that I liked was called True Crime Obsessed, and they make the cases lighthearted, and they put a funny twist to it, which is pretty cool, because it kind of would be if I was talking to my friends about a case. So it kind of feels like you're in a conversation with them, which is really cool. Okay, so next are documentaries, and some of them have multiple episodes to it, but I'm just going to categorize them all as documentaries because, you know, it's pretty much what it is. So the first one is called Voyeur. How do you pronounce this?
Voyeur.
Voyeur. Okay. So pretty much it's a person who gains sexual pleasure from watching others when they are naked or engaged in sexual activity. So this is a documentary on Netflix, which is really, really good. It's about this guy who bought a motel for the sake of watching people through the vents, which is like insane. And it's super creepy, but he's not that creepy actually. But he saw some crazy shit go down, and he had the motel for multiple years, and just he's telling all his stories, and he even witnessed a murder, which was pretty cool. I mean, not cool, but you know. Um, so yeah, it's really, really interesting. Okay, next one. Next documentary was Sons of Sam, which is okay. Sons of Sam is about this serial killer from what is it? What year is this? From the 70s, and then it turns out that he was part of a cult, but he took the rap for most of these murders, even though he didn't necessarily act alone. So like I'm obsessed with like true crime, cults, paranormal things, all the weird shit. It's just really, really interesting to me, and this cults are just so insane because so he was pretty much part of like a satanic cult, which would kill for sacrifices and stuff like that, as it's like a satanic ritual, which is disgusting. But yeah, how do I say? So, anyways, they're just wondering if he actually did all these murders himself. Next series is not really true crime, but it's very, very interesting. It's called To Catch a Smuggler. So pretty much it follows like border patrol and customs, and it's cool to see how drug dealers and people try to smuggle drugs and other contraband into the U.S. And it's really like you see all kinds of stuff like drugs, birds, um, it's crazy. I love seeing that kind of stuff because like we don't really know what goes on. Like how are people getting drugs into the country when our security is so tight, supposedly, I don't know. But next show I'm loving is Evil Lives Here. So it's following people close to them have committed murders and or horrific acts, and it's just like you see the signs early on. Do you know what I'm saying? But you choose to ignore them. I don't know. It's just it's insane. Like it's not a matter of if, but when. You know. Next is Twisted Love. This show is so crazy. It's so good. It's about like people who kill for love, and it's just like sometimes like really disgusting. Like one episode, this guy, he kind of fell in love with his stepsister who was like 10 years younger, and then he killed his mom because she didn't approve of it, so like things like that. It's like, what the hell are you thinking, Okay, next one is super good. I mean, these are all good, but next one is a documentary called Broken Hearts. So it's about these two lesbian moms who adopted 6 black kids. Oh wait, hold on. Sorry, 2 white lesbian moms who adopted 6 black kids, and then they mysteriously drove over a cliff in Mendocino, and so the story unfolds like what led up to them driving off a cliff. You know, what was like the last straw? And it's so good. It's so good. It's, I mean, very, very depressing, but like, you know, it makes me want to be like a CPS worker. Next on, if you are into true crime like me, you need Discovery Plus. Link down below. Use my discount code. Just playing. But the next one is called the West Memphis 3. So it's about these 3 little 8-year-old boys who got murdered and found in the woods with no crime scene, which was really cool. Once again, they find out that it's like part of a satanic kind of group, satanic worshippers, you know. So that's kind of sad because they were. This is back in like the 80s or something. Really, really good show. And the last one I watched from May, it just released on Netflix. It's called Nail Bomber. So it's about this white supremacist group, they think, that started putting random nail bombs in ethnic neighborhoods in London. And it's about them finding out who it was. This is from 1999 London bombings that targeted Black, Bangladeshi, and gay communities in the race to find the far-right perpetrator. So it's like, even though this was in the 90s, it's so relevant today, you know, because people are like fucking batshit crazy. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed my recommendations. If you have any from me, please leave them down below. I'd be happy to watch them and give you my feedback because I have nothing else to do. Just kidding. I have tons more on my list for next month that I need to watch and see if I like. I'm always on the hunt for new ones though. So please let me know, and I'll see you next time.